Hello, my name is Steve Bigelow with the Candlestick Forum. There's some very strong sectors coming back. This market, this market, the Dow, as you can see, we didn't know whether this was going to really be a true reversal signal in the Dow when it started trading positive at the 50-day moving average. It's not a reversal signal. However, you can see that it's followed through to the point where it's broken out through the previous resistance level at all-time highs. The confirmation that it was going to stay above the T line was over here in the dang this thing, what's going on here? Over here in the Nasdaq that had been drifting lower for the last couple months, or at least the last month. But then we had a kicker signal. Remember, the kicker signal is your strongest candlestick reversal signal. That told you there was a drastic change of investor sentiment. And now, as long as it stays above the T line, we're still in an uptrend. You can see what it did on Friday. Even when the Dow was trading higher, the NASDAQ opened lower, used the T line as support, and then started back up again. This has created some very strong sectors again, the biotechs and the electric vehicle stocks. There's some very strong price moves. Last week, we identified eyes because they had reported that they had equipment now that could help people with the blind. We started, people with blindness. We used our rare process, which was when we saw the kicker signal forming, we went back and found out what the information was that created that signal, and it had a big price move that day. It continued right on up to where we could be taking profits up here in the 1750 area. But notice the pattern. Came right smack dab to the T line on the pullback and started back up. There's your J-hook pattern. Being able to identify candlestick patterns allows you to very clearly see when it's time to take profits. You're that far away from the T line, and then when to buy back in. There was a support at the T line producing a J-hook pattern. Utilizing these patterns allow you to tremendously improve your probabilities of being in the correct trade at the correct time. As illustrated over here on AVEO, we recognize this one breaking out the other day and started buying, profit taking, and then there was a doji. Remember what a doji harami tells you? That probably the selling has stopped. Now we expect a 45-degree. Why? Because that's normal human nature. When you see a breakout move, then it goes into this 45-degree because this has been the change of investor sentiment. And there's a very simple way to stay long without getting whipsawed in and out. You just stay long as it doesn't close back below the T line. The other major sector reversal was over in the electric vehicles. You could see Tesla that had been drifting lower for a month and a half, did the kicker signal. Tesla being kind of the representative of the electric vehicle sector, that kicker signal told you there was a change of investor sentiment. A lot of those stocks now can be bought. QuantumScape, you could see the hammer followed by a gap up through the T line and still trading positive. There's a gap to fill up here that makes this a likely target. So that whole sector, QuantumScape, obviously a battery producer potential for the solid state battery for automobiles, much safer than the liquid filled ones, has a lot of upside potential. And notice where the hammer signal occurred. Right here at the level that he bottomed out before with stochastics coming up. This is what makes the visual analysis of candlesticks that much greater as far as probabilities of identifying when the buying has started to come back in, just using simple confirming indicators like stochastics in the oversold area, seeing a buy signal at the same level it bottomed out before, and then the confirmation up through the T line. This has produced a lot of good trade setups. WPRT will be recommending this Monday. Notice that right smack dab on the 50. Stochastics coming back up, gapped up through the T line, broke this downtrend with a doji sandwich, which implies there's going to be more upside, puts us in a prospect of wave 3, same magnitude as wave 1. So as long as, darn, this market continues to stay above the T line after breaking out through this level, there's a very strong buying force going on in the markets. Do we know what it is? Definitely not. But the charts are telling us it's there, and all you want to do is continue to stay long as you don't see a major reversal signal in the indexes. That'll be it. We'll see you in the chat rooms.